So you want to invest in Web3, but you don't know what tokens to buy? You can use SwissBorg's Thematics instead. They select a collection of the best performing Web3 tokens and rebalance them upon performance. So you don't need to worry about going all in on an absolute steaming turd. Sounds good to me. SwissBorg. Good morning, everybody. Let's get started. I'm not feeling too good, just to let you know, but I'll crack on and get this video chat out. Like the price action. So basically, rather than just going through every same old thing, right? It's Sunday, right? Sunday's usually the worst day, not for downside or upside, but just for reliability. Because whatever happens on a Sunday, we look for a reset for Monday anyway, because traditional markets kick back in for the most part anyway. Bank holiday, I think, for us anyway. I don't know about everyone else. Anyway, with that said, let's just think about the Dixie. We don't really normally look at the Dixie, because you normally just focus on the Euro, because it makes more sense to do that, because it's the main driver of the Dixie in the first place, and it's a traded Forex pair. So let's have a think about the Dixie. Now, I remember back down here, people were finding it hard to imagine what was going to happen to the Dixie. They were thinking, oh, it's going to die, man. It's going down, man. It's over, man. I remember saying, look, so many signs of continuation of this rally here, not just from this formation, this ascending channel, this rising channel, but basically we're getting golden crosses on 4 hourlies, dailies, weeklies even. And so it's going to be a bullish year for the dollar. And this is in the heat of 2021. People saying, nah, no way, man. And then before you know it, you have a rinse and repeat scenario with the last bear market for crypto and the last sort of bull market for the dollar. And then I said, I think we're going to reach a top around here, guys. I think more or less the dollar's peaked, and I narrowed it down to more or less a 48-hour period where the dollar did actually peak. I said the dollar's going down, guys. And then people were saying, no, man. You don't see, man. It's going to break out, man. And I was like, oh. No, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm just going by what I see here. There was obviously the euro, there's the pound, but most importantly at the time, there was the yen, which was saying absolutely peak city. And at that point, I thought, well, it makes more sense for this to come down now. And lo and behold, we're coming down, man. We're coming down, man. Man, we're coming down, man. So we're looking at this on a weekly, right? And so what do we see? We see below all major moving averages, other than a 200 and a 200. So it's simple and exponential, right? It seems reasonable at this point now that we're likely to break this horizontal, which is really a nothing, to be honest. Come down to a exponential, but probably more likely a simple. And if we come down to the simple, are we going to break down below the simple? I mean, we've done it before, haven't we? It's not normally something that we see as the best thing in the world. It's all over the place. It doesn't really mean a great deal. It's just a moving average on a weekly. So if we get down to that level, we start closing weeklies over the next couple of months below that level. We get a short signal. We get a short signal on the Dixie, on a weekly, on the Ichimoku cloud, right? And also, I've been saying it for a while, but it's true. These rising channels like this most likely break to the down. That's true. They do. Statistically more likely to actually break down outside of a formation like this. Rising channels break down. Falling channels break up. Break out. That's statistically most likely. So to think that we get supported around here, in my opinion, yeah, we might have a little stumbling block around here and get supported here. I think we'll probably come down to this trend line. And then I think we'll probably break down from there. And we could even make our way back down below the 90s. This isn't going to happen next week. Not at all. Look at the size of this chart. We're talking, what? Just roughly where my cursor is here. Monday, the 23rd of June, 2025. That's roughly getting on for bull market, bull run peak territory for what's prescribed for Bitcoin, given its 4-year cycle. That is the equivalent there of the madness which ensued in 2021, really. And the 2021 madness happened a little earlier, probably about 6 months earlier than it should have done, because of what happened in the March crash and the rate, the lowering of rates and stimulating the economy. The money printers were turned on, weren't they? For all those reasons that we know. But normally, you know, we would have expected that to happen anyway, but not that early. Yeah, so the bull run, the bull market sort of ramped up pace probably about 6 months before it should have done. So we're looking for a dollar to sort of find its way down to these levels over the next couple of years, really. And if you look at the chart right now, it makes sense for something like that to happen. So let's just say we come down to something like this. Dollar. This is probably the most likely scenario for the dollar this time round. And to actually break down from this formation. Given what we're looking at here, given the peak, given the formation, given the trajectory and the time frame, I think that's probably the most likely. So I think we will see a much weaker dollar over the coming years. And then it will, like I say, we'll have to reinterpret this chart. We'll reshuffle the trend lines. We will look for something new. We will keep our ear to the ground, and we'll be like, all right, what's going on with the dollar now then? Now that we're down at these low levels, is the dollar actually finished at this point? Like everyone was saying, the dollar's finished here, when obviously it wasn't. Bam. Like we thought it was. But maybe it will be finished down here. Maybe something will happen. And maybe that is it at that point there. We don't know. We don't know. But based on what I see and what I expect to happen, I think that is most likely to be the case. And I'm not, like I say, an absolute, you know, I don't have tarot cards. I'm not looking at crystal balls or anything like that. But remember who told you the low and the high on this dollar, right? It was me, right? So it's not that I'm making this stuff up. This was relatively easy to read. Obviously, Captain Hindsight can tell you that now because you can see how neat this formation has been. I still think it's relatively easy to read now, even if we were to stay within this formation. So what I'm trying to put out here is that there doesn't seem to be anything particularly massively different going on with this right now, and we should expect it to revisit the bottom of that trend line within this channel between now and 2025. There'll be moves and squiggles along the way, but basically we're going to come back down there. And if that is the case, then yeah, we're looking for a 2025 area, more or less where the dollar is right now. So relatively low dollar for the most part. There'll be bounces, but relatively low. And then the holy grail would be, when I say the holy grail, I mean, not if you're American, obviously. Most currencies are taking a good old beating anyway, inflation. But it would look to me that this time round, I would expect this trend line to break, and we would break down, and we'd go back down to not maybe new lows, but maybe down to the low 90s, maybe upper 80s. And that's where the dollar will probably find a new base and trade at a new lower level. So let's have a quick look at our friend Bitcoin on the daily. We're still above that 29,000, the Bollinger Band Center. Since reclaiming it, despite the ups and the downs, we're still above it right now. This is a good place to be because every time we're above this Bollinger Band Center, it gives more likelihood of it remaining above there and actually moving on forward and going on and up. So I don't really see a problem with it right now. I know that probably everyone's looking at the redness on the chart and going, everything's red today. Actually, no. I think it's all okay, to be fair. So we're looking for a move up, generally above that. It's not even 29,000 now. The Bollinger Band Center has gone down to 28,600. So it's 28,600 being the main area of support. If that fails, the 50 exponential is 28,000 basically. So there's so much support, decent support below us for a springboard up to that 32. If we go to a short-term time frame, not that it's worth a great deal right now because it is Sunday, but let's have a quick look. So yeah, we had a retest of the 200 again just recently. So we want to reclaim 29,000 on the 4 hourly to get some sort of bullish momentum. And we are working on a pump signal as well. So I'm still in favour of this moving up. I don't really see a problem with it moving up. Everything looks okay to move up. Remember, we're talking from here to 32. That's a relatively big move, and then see where we go from 32. Some people are getting confused when I was saying about buying altcoins and then being careful about Bitcoin getting to 32. So long story short, Bitcoin governs the crypto market for the most part. Most of the time, everything follows Bitcoin, right? So if Bitcoin pulls back, altcoins will pull back. If Bitcoin goes up, altcoins most likely go up. So even though I am bullish on altcoins, or at least willing and happy to take positions in altcoins while the total 2 is sitting around this lower zone, because we have higher to run to this level and to this level on its market cap, which should transfer to price on charts. So this looks good. You should also be aware that this here is relatively strong resistance, not just a horizontal time frame. If you go to a monthly, we've got a Bollinger Band monthly sitting around there as well, just a little lower. That's 31,500. That's a realistic target to hit for resistance. That's more or less the same place as that. So we've got to think about all of that as resistance. And so if we're looking for resistance on Bitcoin at 32, and even though we would be bullish on altcoins, we also have to think, right, a rejection is due for the overall market, right? So this is why I always talk about dominoes, looking at the market as dominoes. You've got Forex, like Dixie, Euro. You've got that to start with. Then you've got indices, S&P, NASDAQ. Okay, that's fine. And stocks in general. Okay, fine. You've got commodities you can slide in there now, like gold. Okay, what's that doing? Okay, fine. Fair enough. Then you got Bitcoin. Okay, what's Bitcoin doing? Okay, it looks like it wants to go up. Possible rejection at 32. See what happens from there. And then you got altcoins. So you've got all these things to think about before you even trade an altcoin, right? Altcoins are basically, you know, they're the last thought of the trading domino chain, right? And so you can look at an altcoin chart and you can have a great setup, but then Bitcoin will just slap it in the face and say, no thanks, because I am the boss and I'll be doing this. And even Bitcoin doesn't get to choose that much, because the Bitcoin will be like looking at its big brothers, you know, like Forex, and they'll be saying, haha, not today, we're going to do this, so you're going to do that. Trading charts is all good and proper, but if you think about things in like the domino effect, then you have to think about that. So when I say I'm happy to take positions in altcoins, it's because I am happy to take positions in altcoins. Am I expecting or waiting for a resistance at $32,000 that will pull everything back? Yeah, yes I am. Am I going to overexpose myself in altcoins even though I expect that? No. But am I going to take positions in altcoins? Yes. And am I happy to hold those positions for the short, medium and long term? Yes, I am. So whatever happens at $32,000 to your altcoins, you have to expect to get slapped in the face. This is a reasonable area for buy, holding and staking for altcoins, definitely. And you know, you will look back in time, most likely by 2025, when we have that read on the Dixie, sort of move back down to the trend line and probably break down from there. You'll probably look back at this area on the total 2 and go, oh, I was scratching around at the bottom of the barrel, you know, waiting for my altcoins to moon immediately. But really what I should have been doing is waiting for the duration of the bull market to rinse and repeat like it did previously. Bull market peak, bear market accumulation, bull market peak, accumulation, bull market peak. See what I'm talking about? For the most part, if you're buying altcoins or just in crypto in general, right, you're looking for fast gains. Let's just say a 4-year market cycle completes. So we've got about 3 years, less than 3 years now for that to complete. You buy into things now and you complete that in about 3 years, and you've done 500 to 1,000% gain on your altcoins, right? And you look back at that and you'll say, that's decent, right? That is decent. Like, if you were to break that down on a yearly basis, you're getting roughly, you know, you'd be looking to receive roughly 150 to maybe 350% gains year on year when it's all finished. That is decent, right? That's not normal, okay? That sort of thing isn't normal. This is why we're in crypto in the first place. So if you're not looking to trade, if you're looking to just buy and hold and stake it somewhere like SwissBorg or wherever, and that's your goal, then you should focus on that goal. And you should think about, all right, yeah, we might reject at 32. Okay, fair enough. But the trajectory of the Dixie, the trajectory of Bitcoin, and the total 2 is the opposite. It's going up, and the goal is somewhere around 2025. And all of this would just be like laughable price action down here, like it was in 2019, 2020, before 2021. The only difference is that the facility to sort of stake your crypto is a lot easier now and a lot better and more accessible than it was before. And so you can actually sit and enjoy those sort of rewards like you couldn't do before. Anyway, I've rambled, but you get the point, right? Let's not try and get too clever around here. Let's think about the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is pretty bright, regardless of this CPI and FOMC and all this other shizer. You know, everything's looking pretty sweet. And down here on a risk to reward basis from a long-term perspective, pretty awesome, all right? Even on a short-term perspective, it's pretty awesome. So expect something to happen around $32,000, but don't let it break your overall plans of where you're going to see the price action on altcoins or Bitcoin or whatever in 2 to 3 years from now. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Long video. Go get a lem sip. Go swimming. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Feel free to subscribe. Take it easy.